Risk assessments the Supercamps way. The Health and Safety Executive, or the HSE, state that the purpose of a risk assessment is it's not about creating huge amounts of paperwork, but rather about identifying sensible measures to control the risks in your workplace. So how does that look in regards to Supercamps? So we have two types of risk assessments, pre-written and camp-specific risk assessments. So the pre-written risk assessments are mainly designed for specific activities or areas that carry a large level of risk on camp, for example the adventure playground or roller races. Camp-specific ones are changing facilities and outdoor areas, toilets and changing rooms, access security, first aid and working practices, and also the fire practices as well on each specific camp, because these vary to camp to camp. Camp-specific risk assessments, a detailed list can be found in the Risk Assessment Guidance Pack, where it will tell you exactly which areas to risk assess on the camp induction day. So what does a Supercamps risk assessment look like? Well, here we are. We have a column for hazards, we have a risk rating and likelihood. So we risk our stuff from low, medium and high. Who is at risk? Is it all just to children, staff or public? The control measures or actions we're going to take to reduce the risk. Whose responsibility it is to enforce the control measure. So is it the camp managers, the staff or everybody's? And then all staff must date, sign to say that they've read and understood each individual section. A pre-written risk assessment looks similar to this, and all you need to do as camp staff on the camp induction day is for each column on the right hand side is fill in which season that you're attending at that camp and your initial and date it, much like this. So what does a camp manager need to do? Make sure all the camp staff read, understand and sign all risk assessments. It's very important for them to understand it as well as sign. Review and update any changes on the daily basis using the risk assessment log found in Camp Operations File 3, Section 3. So this is found there. So basically this is when the camp manager does a walk around to see if there's anything blown over in the middle of the night or if there's any damage where they need to put additional control measures in to particular areas for the camp staff to notice. Monitor all staff on the risk assessments. This basically means that just to go to sessions and make sure that the camp staff are following the risk assessments when they're doing their sessions. And the rest of the camp staff, you need to read, understand and sign the risk assessment, and if you don't understand the risk assessment, please tell your camp manager and they can reword it for you or add additional control measures for you to understand. Follow the risk assessment, it's very important. These have been done for your safety as well as the children. Raise any concerns you have about them and any changes needed you may see. Remember, you can find risk assessments anytime on camp, and Operations File 3 section, find risk assessments anytime on camp, and Operations File 3 section